How does the Hummer H2 stack up against a modern day vehicle? Let's talk about it. This is my '05 H2 in front of us right now. I actually just cracked 200,000 miles on the beast a few days ago. My vehicle came off the assembly line May 20th, 2004 at the Mishawaka, Indiana AM General Plant. For 20 years old, ladies and gentlemen, it looks pretty good. Without being biased as an owner, the vehicle truly is in a class of its own. I have yet to see anything on the road in the SUV category that looks as good as this. It truly is the granddaddy of all SUVs. When you own one of these vehicles and you start to look at the vehicle from different angles, you see a lot of lines that you really can't see on video. I mean, right here, running backwards, you can see the sporty look. These doors actually come out just a little bit right here. Again, it's going to be hard to see that on camera, but when you start to look at the vehicle from different angles, you wouldn't believe how good it looks. Again, you know, the box cowls, the helicopter pad. I mean, this is just absolutely wild. I think it's so cool to have that on the vehicle. Large Hummer logo on the front. You know, when you look at the roof, you can see the marker lights up there, and there's actually, I guess you'd call them like rivets on the roof. Again, I've never seen anybody talk about that in any reviews online. That's because they don't notice it, and they don't know that it's there. You can see some of the tributes to the American Humvee. You know, even the gas cap. It's pretty cool. Again, these marker lights, it's just so cool. It's like having a real life Tonka toy in front of you. Let me tell you, you get the spare tire on the front or on the rear of the vehicle, and it looks just even more insane. You start to see little lines on the vehicle, these little, like, I guess you call them knocks for the rails. You know, the little cuts in the marker lights, just like a little, I guess you call it circle cutout. To me, and there's the actual XM radio right there. To me, it's little things like that. And as an owner, I'm always looking for just little things on the vehicle that I'm like, oh, wow, that's really cool. When it comes to a modern day vehicle, again, I'm making this videos of 2025. What else is out there that can be placed in the same category as the Hummer H2? All trucks, all cars, they all look just about the same. The Cybertruck is a vehicle that does come to my mind. It's interesting, guys. For those that enjoy the beauty of the vehicle, that can just see the aggressive lines, you know, just what a beautiful piece of artwork this is. They are typically the creativity type, the outdoors type. They have that gene. Someone who doesn't have creativity, you know, or the creativity gene, they look at this vehicle and they say, it's just a box. I don't get it. Why would you want to drive a box? So something to keep in mind. So when it comes to looks, again, the crossbars, it's just so cool. The antenna, it's so cool to still see antennas or have an antenna actually on the vehicle. Again, just little touch up. So when it comes to the exterior of the vehicle, definitely getting something unique. It comes to the interior of the vehicle. Now, if you guys have been sticking with me, you know I've been in the process of, I'm still actually sound deadening the vehicle. I'm waiting for some parts to come in, but I did start to get the door panels back on. Let me tell you guys, I can't tell you how nice and comfortable, you know, putting your arm here on this armrest. Now these chairs, they might not look like much, but let me tell you guys, these are the most comfortable seats I've ever been in my entire life. And I've actually had quite a few owners of different vehicles. They sit inside the vehicle and they say, oh my God. They say, this is so comfortable. Vehicle has heated seats. It's got, like, I guess you could call it a bladder inside, or bladders to adjust your seating preference. Electric seats. It's got a Bose 9-speaker system, including a massive subwoofer. I've actually seen some guys online who go in and they put in new speakers and upgrade the Bose system, which is fine. Now, personally, when I had this system, the Bose system, I was really happy with it. It sounded fantastic while going down the road driving this vehicle. Lincoln Park sounded incredible. An old CD that I had. I actually recently sound deadened my vehicle with Resonex, and I've turned all the doors into bricks, even the trunk. I've done the roof, floor. Let me tell you guys, when I'm in this vehicle now after I've done the sound deadening, it's like I'm in a live concert on stage. It's absolutely incredible. This Bose system, it sounds absolutely incredible. Now, I know I could potentially get some opinions with the Bose system. Okay, now mind you, I've got the CLD, fiber mat, I've got some MLV substitute in the vehicle. The modern day vehicle, yeah, the speaker systems probably are probably better. Some of the vehicles, they have got like 50 speakers inside them. So again, that's something that comes to my mind. When you're inside the vehicle, when it comes to actual space, cargo space, the trunk, plenty of room. My brother and I go on snowboard trips all the way to Vermont. Tons of room in the rear of the vehicle. So when it comes to storage, again, no problem. You've got the roof for extra storage. When it comes to the actual engine of modern day vehicles, inside the Hummer H2, you have the legendary LS 6.0 engine. This vehicle is widely considered probably one of the most reliable, or the most reliable engine of all time. It's very common for owners to take these engines to 3, 4, 5, 6, 700,000 miles. They're more or less bulletproof. A couple of upgrades you need to do: seal some air leaks, put some new gaskets in. So when it comes to an H2, with these vehicles being 20 years old, yeah, you're gonna have to do some catch-up maintenance. Can be a little bit annoying, but the information's out there. You know, the vehicle has an incredible engine. You know, like the tie rods need upgraded to kryptonite. You know what you need to do with the transmission, the Sonex parts to upgrade the transmission. Without being biased against my own work, now I'm talking about my transmission. In all likelihood, I'll probably get 300,000-400,000 out of that transmission. I've got all the high quality GPZ clutch packs. So again, once you get one of these vehicles up to speed, it's more or less bulletproof, little to no maintenance. It really does check off a lot of boxes when it comes to reliability and usability. When you think about modern day engines, your modern day engines are bankrupting people. They are so poorly built. If you ever come across a vehicle that says eco, they put eco in the engine just to appease clown world. Anything that says eco in it, in all likelihood, it's a trash engine. You know, these engines are my 6.0. I'm probably pushing about 350 horses after my tune. Some other upgrades. And let me tell you guys, I've got plenty of power. The vehicle gets up and goes. I'm in the cabin right now, and let me tell you guys, I'm about 5'11", 6 foot, and I often find myself cramped or uncomfortable in other vehicles. When it comes to the road trip ability of this vehicle, I've driven 13 hours straight, no issues whatsoever. When I've been in other cars, I'm like, this constantly adjusting. So when it comes to comfort, reliability, style, the H2 holds up extremely well. Now there are some engines out there, they're pushing 500, 600, 700, 800 horsepower, 1,000 horsepower SUVs and trucks. So yeah, they do have more power, but again, that's going to come with higher price point. That's going to come with higher cost of insurance. These vehicles are relatively inexpensive to maintain. $100 for car insurance. I'm getting like literally $450 to $480 a tank. It's a 32-gallon tank for all my mathematicians, and I actually expect to get closer to 500 to a tank once I do some transmission upgrades, and I do some upgrades in the engine. So literally I never have to fill up. It's great when I go on road trips. I literally go almost 400 miles before I make the decision to pull over, fill up. So when it comes to the interior of the vehicle, I'm in the process. I'm going to get this upgraded to LCD or bulb, so the dash is going to look literally like a modern day vehicle. Sure, modern day vehicles will have a big fancy screen you can touch, and Apple CarPlay and all that fun goodies. To me, again, I don't want that. I'm on screens all the time at work. I like the old buttons. I like pressing them. I've got a 6-disc CD changer. In all likelihood, I probably will upgrade at some point, just because I've got just such great sound deadening, just to get a better head unit. Quick, simple upgrade. If that's something you do want, you can upgrade to a better head unit. I've actually seen some guys who have literally completely modified this so that they have like a massive Tesla screen in here, and they wire it up. There's some people online talk about it. So if that's something you want, you can definitely get. It's got dual climate control. Here's something really cool. It's called TC2. This is the Hummer H2. Most people don't know this. The Hummer H2 actually has an upgraded version. The traction control system in this vehicle is an upgraded version of the Hummer H1's TT4 system. That's Torque Track 4 system. It's absolutely incredible. This, in all likelihood, is some of the best traction control in a vehicle ever made, or possibly on the road to this day. I've hit ice in the Hummer H2 going 70 miles an hour. And let me tell you guys, in the wheel, it's hard to explain, but you can feel in the wheel as the vehicle is making the adjustments. You can feel all the tires in the wheel when the traction control system kicks in. So again, how many people could say they've got an upgraded version of the Hummer H1's traction control system in their vehicle? You can tow with this vehicle. Right there you do have, that's the adventure package button. The vehicle will rise up by another 2 inches. So this vehicle has some of the highest approach and departure angles on the market. I don't have the numbers in front of me right now. I think it's 48 degrees in the front, and in the rear I think it's like 30, 38 or something. Again, I know it's really, really incredible, the approach and departure angle. So if you are someone who likes to off-road, this vehicle is definitely off-road capable. Stock rear locker. Now, I know some vehicles have a front rear locker today, but the H2 is a beast. It comes stocked and ready to go. Great viewing angle out the vehicle. Again, just this vertical of the glass, you won't believe how much more that you see while driving on the road. So when it comes to the H2 versus a modern day vehicle, again, rear view camera. Now this vehicle doesn't have it. Actually started in 2006. Some of the models had the rear view camera. I mean, not a big deal, but if you want a rear view camera, you can get one installed. When it comes to like all modern day accessories, the H2 literally has them all. It's pretty wild. I mean, this vehicle has XM radio, OnStar, so speaker system sounds legit. Plenty of room. Compass. Actually, that's something else. Is the H2 has a compass built into the rear view mirror. Most vehicles actually don't have that today, and it's just a great feature. Now, if you guys do have an H2, you want to make sure that you're set up. There's 15 different modes for the compass. So hold that comp button down and compass button down, and it'll pop up on the mirror. You'll see it. So you want to make sure you have your right area selected, because that's going to affect the compass. And let me tell you guys, there's actually been a couple times where I needed to look up at that compass because I didn't have cell phone reception. I'm like, oh hey, I'm going in the wrong direction. Rear DVD and the headrest. You know, a lot of vehicles don't even have that to this day. Rear heated seats. Actually, on the rear of the vehicle, people in the rear can tune into the radio. You know, there's your heated seat button. People in the rear can listen to the radio. Again, most modern day vehicles don't even have these features when it comes to, you know, stock features. So incredible machine, guys. Incredible machine. If you're somebody out there and you're saying, well, should I buy a Hummer H2 or a brand new vehicle? You know, it's a tough decision, because if you don't have the time to get these up to speed, for example, it's all likelihood going to take you probably, 6 months if you prepared yourself. You can get the whole vehicle, all the, the gremlins figured out. And so if that's something you don't have that time to invest in getting the vehicle, brought back up to speed, getting the 6.0 cleaned up, upgrading the lights to LED, cleaning it. Cleaning it's actually really annoying. It's, I personally rebuilt my transmission, but I'll tell you the hardest thing is actually cleaning the vehicle. It's been no joke. So if I was in the market, I'd say, hey, I'd probably prefer a newer vehicle, just so I don't have to work on this vehicle. If time is something you need or you don't have. When it comes to price point too, when you think about this vehicle, you can get one of these vehicles. It's relatively inexpensive for literally $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. I've seen H2s for $15,000 with like literally 75,000 miles on them. At that point, they're basically brand new. I've seen H2s for $25,000 that have like literally 30,000 miles on the odometer. So again, they're still in the wrapper at that point. You can see I got a paint chip. I got to get that fixed up. So when it comes to price point too, again, you can go out and spend 80 grand, 90 grand on a brand new truck or SUV, 150K on a new Escalade. Then you have to deal with all the electrical issues, recalls. You buy an H2, you get one in good shape. Put some time into it. I love the Resonex stuff. It's just such a game changer. You get the vehicle up to speed with the H2. You buy one of these bad boys for 15 grand. Let's say 25 grand with, 25,000 miles. Sound deaden the vehicle. Now you're at like 35. All right. Get custom interior. You can have a one-of-one vehicle, super custom, 40 grand. That's what I would prefer to do. I think you'd have a lot more fun that way. So when it comes to the final results, the H2 holds its own. It has literally, I would say, just about every modern day feature you could ask for on a 4x4. I mean, this vehicle it's constantly in 4-wheel drive. That's great. I love that, especially during the winter when you hit unexpected areas. You won't believe the turning radius in this machine. It's just absolutely incredible. So when it comes to the modern day vehicle versus the H2, it's hard not to pick the H2, guys. I'm not being biased against as an owner, but let me tell you, modern day vehicles, those engines that they're putting in them, transmissions, recalls, the amount of lemons being thrown out by modern automakers, it's absolutely insane. So if you're someone out there and you're saying to yourself, should I get the H2, get your dream truck, or should I buy a modern day vehicle? I hope this helps.